Another handy tool for you to have in your listing presentation armoury is a timeline to a sale. People don't often understand how long it takes from the time they're talking to you till the time the cheque's in the bank. They just think that a property goes to sale, it stays on the open list for a few weeks, someone comes along and buys it, and then a few weeks later money goes into their account. Well, you need to define this in a little bit more clarity in some cases, particularly at certain times of the year or when there are circumstances where people are working to a deadline. Take for example the age-old desire to get something completed by Christmas. So if somebody is wanting to sell their home and have the transaction completed by Christmas, they need to understand clearly how long it's going to take for that entire transaction to be completed. This is where the template in the materials about timeline to a sale is a graphic illustration of the actual time that it takes to sell a property, including all of the upfront work to prepare it for going on the market, the duration of the time that it is on the market, including the negotiations and closing the sale, and then the time that it takes for the legal to all come together until the settlement happens and the money goes into their bank account. Now, this tool of the timeline to a sale is probably not something that you would necessarily put in the listing kit to leave behind with your vendors, but it again is one of the supporting tools that you might have on a sheet, laminated, that you can take with you in your briefcase and just bring out when and if it's needed to clearly illustrate the time that's involved. That's the idea of having a timeline to a sale sheet. Now, the one in the materials is quite meticulous. It's done down to a day-by-day routine, and obviously this is hard to estimate because you don't know how long the actual property is going to be on the market. You can do a simpler one in a week-by-week scenario if you prefer to do it that way, but the outcome's going to be the same. It shows that you're prepared, it shows that you understand the transaction, and it certainly gives a better understanding to your vendors of what's going to happen and how long it's going to take.